This new snow day scenery has some really cool Easter eggs on it. The first thing I noticed as I started on the bottom right, next to this one house, there's actually what looks like a horse hitch, which basically is used to tie horses so they don't run away while you go in your house or go into a building, which is interesting that they put it here because there are no horses in Clash of Clans. So I don't know, maybe they're gonna add horses at some point in the future. And then up by this castle, you can see in between these two Ice King statues, there's a bridge that's supposed to be leading to the castle, but it seems to be broken down. You can see the entrance to the bridge and then the stairs at the castle, but there's no bridge that leads to the castle. Also, if you look at the gate to the castle, it's slightly open. If we go down to the bottom left, you can also see on this house, the door is wide open. So either these doors just don't latch or people just carelessly leave them open. If you look at the top of the castle, you can see some flagpoles on the towers, but there's no flags. I don't know if this is just because in the snow they take the flags down, or I don't know, but there's no flags on the flagpoles. There's also another bridge on the side of the castle which is also broken. It has this huge gap in it. I don't know where the bridge leads, but for some reason all these bridges are broken. And then below the castle, down in this cavern, there's an orange glow coming up. It has to be some kind of fire or lava or something down there. It kind of reminds me of the other snow scenery where there's that kind of elixir pink glow that comes up from below the castle. I don't know what it is, but it's super interesting. And then in the top left of the scenery, there's not really much going on. The only thing I found, which I didn't actually see at first, I looked on Reddit and saw people talking about it. In the middle of the maze, you can see two things. First, you see the banana right there, which is iconic in almost every single scenery. There's only a few sceneries that don't actually have a banana, or at least I haven't noticed the banana. But then next to the banana, it looks like a barbarian sleeping in the snow or just laying in the snow. But you can really only see his head and like part of his shoulders and chest because he's pretty much buried in the snow. But other than that, there's nothing I noticed in the top left. As we move down to the bottom left, we can see some tents which look like they were from the 9th Clashiversary scenery. You can see that there were a bunch of these tents in the 9th Clashiversary scenery. They just stick out because there are no other tents like this. So I'm not sure why they're in this scenery, but there's this super obvious thing to the right, which is really cool. The first time Clash of Clans has done this is the new boat, because obviously the regular boat can't be on ice. So I'm guessing the master builder was the one who had to build this new boat, which can go across the ice. It also has that kind of snowplow on the front. There's also the master builder's little boat that got a modification so that it can go on the ice, and it's actually powered by that gear that spins on the back, which obviously propels it across the ice. You can also see on the left of those two boats, there are some boats that look like they got crashed into the ice and they're frozen in place. But I first thought that these boats were exactly like the original boat that is on the normal scenery, but these boats have two sails. The normal boat only has one sail. So these are some totally different boats. So obviously the villagers and the master builder aren't the only people that are sailing to the village. There's also a house above these boats, and it looks like the master builder's old boat is sitting next to the house. So this may be the master builder's house. And then next to the house, there's a hole in the ice with a little stool, and it looks like a bucket, but there was also a hole in the ice in the epic winter scenery, and Clash of Clans posted this picture where the barbarian king was obviously going for an ice bath. So again, somebody is going for an ice bath in the freezing ocean. There are also 3 inferno towers in this scenery, which kind of alludes to the short film that Clash of Clans put out related to this scenery where the infernos were all frozen but then they got lit up again in the film. One other thing I want to point out, which is just another great touch that Clash of Clans put on this scenery, it's kind of 3D. On the bottom corners, as you move your screen, there's some trees and there's like a castle over on the right that kind of move, like it gives you some perspective of the scenery as if you're standing on top of a hill, and as you move, the hills in front of you move. It's just a really cool touch. It's an incredible scenery. I love how it covers the entire village. Just like the pumpkin graveyard scenery, the tiles have changed color, which is a great touch, and they also changed the color of the grass around all the buildings. It kind of looks like they just desaturated everything. and didn't actually change it to like an icy blue, but either way it looks amazing, especially with the blue walls from Town Hall 12 or 13. It kind of all goes together perfectly. Definitely worth the money if you like the design of the scenery. Obviously it all comes down to your opinion. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you click the like button.